Hi, everyone. Welcome back to She Blurs Podcast. Today's guest is Eddie Johnson. Hi, Eddie.
Hey, how you doing today, Brooke?
Good. Thank you for coming on my podcast today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited about our talk today.
Me too. So, Eddie is a breakthrough expert, development coach, speaker, author, and servant leader. So, I want to start off by you telling our listeners what a breakthrough expert is.
Yeah, so basically, as a breakthrough expert, I help people make impactful discoveries and improve their situations, basically. Just in a nutshell, real simple.
How do you do that though? Like, how do you go through the process? Like, how does that work?
Well, actually, Brooke, believe it or not, all of us have something that's unique about us,
Mhm.
right? And but many times we don't exercise that, or we don't go to that level of using that uniqueness. All of us have some great things inside of us, period, right? But have listened over the years to what everybody has to say that we should do or what we're good at. Bottom line, at the end of the day, what I do is I help people discover all those great pieces about themselves. And what ends up happening is once we actually do that, we can see a very common theme. And that common theme will lead you to your purpose. So yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot
Like,
of fun.
yeah, I've always asked my mom, like, how do you read the signs of what you're supposed to do? Like, how do you read the signs of what God is telling you He wants you to do? Like,
Yeah.
how do you figure that out? Like, I've always been like, I don't know. Like, I feel like He gives me signs, but I feel like I ignore them.
Hmm.
But
Well, we all do. I mean, just being honest about it, we was talking earlier. I mean, we all do, right? It's a process, you know. And I think one of the things I recommend that everybody do is something called spiritual gifts assessment. And it's an assessment. And what it does is it should be able to take you to where your purpose is. I mean,
oh,
not your purpose, but what your gifts are. So all of us have gifts. And if we're each using the gifts that are given to us, we do so much for the kingdom, but we also do some great things and we feel good inside. And it's natural. It comes easy, right?
okay.
So, yeah, spiritual gifts assessment is a great tool. Great tool.
So we can just look that up online, the spiritual gift
Yep,
assessment.
you can Google spiritual gift assessments, test quizzes. It's a ton of them out there, and a lot of them are free.
Okay.
And yep, a lot of them are free. So there are some very long ones, there's some shorter ones, and all. I say do pick two and see what you come up with. But a lot of times it'll tell you so much about yourself. Um, great example. I remember when I did it almost 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago. Um, I used to complain all the time about some of the challenges that I face in life, adversity. And in doing this assessment, so there's a primary gift and there's a secondary gift. And in this particular assessment, the highest you can get on any score was 15 points. Well, I had a very unique situation. I had three that were 14s and
Wow.
one that was a 15. So one of the ones that was a 14 was long suffering. So that's being able to endure and persevere, right? And a lot of times it seems like we're in that process of enduring forever and ever and ever when we're facing adversity. But what I realize is that God gave me that gift. So why am I complaining, right? But
Right.
here was the kicker. My number one gift was faith. And when I was able to put those two things together, realizing that I can actually go through a process and it could seem like forever, that faith that's in me and that gift that God has given me, it overrides all of that so I can get through. So at that point, I started complaining. That's when life began to make so much sense to me about my personal life.
That's amazing. That's a
Yeah.
really amazing story. So what inspired you what inspired your book Passing the Test of Faith?
So passing the test of faith, um, man, several things. But what I'll do is I'll start off with this. I faced the biggest challenge of my life back in 2003 when my 3-year-old son, Kendall, was diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor. Okay. From the very first word, the time that the doctor said tumor, I made it my business to say,
Mhm.
I'm relying on faith.
Mhm.
So going through this whole process of my son, his illness, I'm relying on faith the whole time. Did I
Mhm.
have some rough days? Absolutely. And I even had a point in time there for a couple of days. I kind of pulled back and I was like, I'm mad. Right.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
what ended up happening is at the later on, about a year or so later, people
Mhm.
started asking me, where did I get faith to trust
Mhm.
God with something so big?
Mhm.
And I started hearing things like, I don't think I could have had that kind of faith. And
Mhm.
I wish I had that kind of faith. So I'm hearing this over and over. And I started wondering for myself, yeah, where did I get faith to trust God the way that I do? So I
Mhm.
went in search of my faith. I
Mhm.
was really curious. So I sat down, I took some time, and I did some self reflection. And I started
Mhm.
going back over these, what I call mountains of my past. And these mountains are those challenges that I faced over the years. And I ended up when I was in the ninth grade. In the ninth grade, I was what back then some would call, this great athlete, quarterback of the football team, most outstanding offensive player, started a basketball team and had broken the school record in the eighth grade in basketball. So all these great things are there for me.
Mhm.
Long story short, I got a major injury in the ninth grade. And it was an injury that I had felt for years, had took my dreams and aspirations away of being
Mhm.
able to go and potentially play professional ball. Right. Well, I ended up having surgery. I
Mhm.
was told that I could not perform in track and field. I was determined. I could not do anything in the event that I did, which was a high jump. Right.
Mhm.
So I was told by my athletic director that, hey, Eddie, if you're going to win athlete of the year, you got to do something in track and field at the district or championship meet. And I was like,
Mhm.
ain't no way in the world. I can't even win a track meet. So I went home. I shared this with my mother. And with tears running down my eyes, my mother looks at me and she says, son, do you know what faith is? She said, if you trust God and believe that you can do anything. So she
Right.
gave me some scriptures on faith. So I was like, I have nothing to lose. I got to try this thing called faith, right?
Mhm.
So I read these scriptures every day. And as it turned out, I went to the district meet and I ended up in second place. Top four goes to the championship, right? And I was attempting to break the record, the
Wow.
district record, right? But I ended up getting an injury, had to walk away, take second place. The following week, I'm in the same situation. And
Mhm.
mind you, during the regular season, I couldn't jump higher than 5'3" or 5'4".
Mhm.
I'm jumping 6 feet now. Okay. And I ended up winning the championship meet. What I eventually realized as I did that whole reflection process is
Mhm.
that situation that happened in the ninth grade that I thought took all my dreams and aspirations away. That situation had to happen.
Mhm.
So you talk about breakthrough expert. See, that was a discovery for me. I was able to tie connect the dots of something from 2003 back to 86.
Wow.
And when I was able to do that, that's when I realized that had to happen to prepare me for what I
Mhm.
was going to deal with 17 years later when my son was diagnosed with that tumor.
Wow.
So I ended up writing a book about the book is called Passing the Test of Faith,
Mhm.
because my mother used to always tell me, son, when you're facing a situation, it's like
Mhm.
taking a test. Either you're going to pass the test or you're going to fail it. But you have to pass this test. And that's what she told me when in the ninth grade about the whole high jump thing and the
Mhm.
scriptures on faith and talking about faith. And that's when I realized, you know what? Life is that way. We
Mhm.
face challenges every day. And it
Yeah.
seems like sometimes they never go away. But we
Mhm.
have to pass the test that's in front of us Because if we don't, we may very well have to go back and take that test again.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's
Oh yeah.
painful retaking the test. For me, it is, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's what the book is about.
Mhm.
In a nutshell, God basically had told me to write the book. I published it in 2018,
Mhm.
and probably about 9 years prior, he told me to write the book. Now, this was interesting. I'm an accounting major. I'm a numbers guy, okay? And God is telling me to write this book, and I'm like, no, I can't do that. Number one, it's on the subject of faith. I'm no minister. I'm no pastor. Nobody gonna want to listen to what I have to say, right? So not only that, writing a book,
Mhm.
it's nowhere in the world. Writing was never my thing, right? So over the years, from the time that this was given to me, and mind you, at the time that this book was given to me, the title was given to me.
Wow.
So over that 8-year period, I actually had all these different notes, stuff I had written on napkins,
Mhm.
sticky notes, whatever I could find. And I finally got to a situation where I knew I was going to have to do it.
Mhm.
And I was put in that situation where I had to do it. And I knew I had to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. So are you going to work on any other books or anything, like anything in your life? That you going to work on anything else?
Well, this is what I'll say. Brooke, I, I do have several book ideas.
Mhm.
Um, that's been floating around. Matter of fact, there's one as soon as I finish this book, I another book came to mind.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of me finding time, get
Yeah.
it done. I'm hoping it don't take me another 8 years, right? But it's just a matter of time and getting there. But I know that when it does come forward, it'll
Mhm.
be at the right time for someone who needs it in that moment.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know,
I like that one. I like that. So,
absolutely.
so I did want to ask you about a breakthrough expert. Like, how do you? I don't know if I've asked this already, but how do you help people through? Like, how do you help them develop themselves? Like, how does it work? I've
How
never
does
heard
that?
of a development coach before. Like, how does it work?
Yeah, believe it or not, all of us have some great things inside of us, right?
Mhm.
So one of the things, one of my strengths is positivity,
Mhm.
and another one is a developer. And
Mhm.
basically, I'm able to kind of make that connection with people to help develop them and move them along to the next process, right? For me, it's just general conversation.
Mhm.
So that's what that's really all about. But bottom line, at the end of the day, is finding what's the best inside of us. In my case, I'm real tied into once I realized what my strengths were and
Mhm.
all the great things that was inside of me that I had to offer,
Mhm.
I made that my purpose. And I wake up every day looking to utilize the strengths that I have. So, my purpose, for example, is to encourage, inspire, and motivate others to believe, break through adversity so that they can get to the next level of their life.
Mhm.
So, every day when I wake up, before I leave out and I have my prayers, I literally say, God, who is my assignment today? Who am I to inspire today?
Mhm.
Because I want to make sure that I'm living that aspect of my life.
That's amazing. I love that advice. I want
Hey,
to. That's really great advice. Like really. So I want to thank you so much, Eddie, for coming on my podcast today and
yep,
chatting with me.
absolutely, and I greatly appreciate it. And again, the book that I wrote is called "Passing the Test of Faith."
Mhm.
And here is I don't know if you can see this or not from the glare, but here's a
Yeah,
copy
it's a
of the
little
book.
far back. It's like way
I'm too
back.
far back. There we go.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay,
Passing
no.
the Test of Faith, right? So you can go to Amazon. It's on Amazon, right?
Okay.
You can go there. You can order the book online, and you
Mhm.
can also go to my website.
Mhm.
Okay. My website is eddieLjohnson.com.
Mhm.
Real simple. eddieLjohnson.com. And you can go on there. You can actually click a button. It'll take you right there to the link on Amazon to purchase the book.
I'm definitely gonna
Yeah,
get that. So do you
absolutely.
do signed copies too? Like, do you mail
Yeah, I
signed
do.
copies?
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. And
Okay.
one more thing too, Brooke, if you don't mind,
Mhm.
um, I recently completed and created an online course that actually mirrors the book. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
neat.
So this course is packed. It is awesome. It's packed with 27 lessons. Now, when I say 27, people are like, man, that's a lot. The average lesson is actually about 3 minutes long.
Oh,
Three and a half minutes long, right? But every lesson has a worksheet.
mhm,
And in that worksheet, it puts you in a place to put yourself in situations or reflect back on certain things, similar
mhm,
to what I did, so that
mhm,
you can start making those connections for yourself. But also, you can also realize how faith plays a great and important part to of
mhm.
us overcoming adversity. Okay.
Oh, neat.
So that course, Brooke, for you, your listeners, if you're interested, the website for that course is the breakthrough
Wait. The breakthrough.
plan.com.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. The breakthroughplan.com. You can go there and the course is there, but there's also a free lesson that you can take. It's about 2 minutes, a little bit more for this one lesson. You could take that
Mhm.
free lesson just to kind of get a taste of it. But I'll tell you what, it's a lot of fun.
Ooh, I'm gonna check that out right after
Please
this
do.
interview. I am. I'm gonna go right there.
Yes, yes.
You have a great day, okay?
Hey, thank you so much, bro. You do the same.
All right, bye. Hey everyone, I want to thank you all so much for listening to my interview with Eddie Johnson. So, his website is linked within my website that has his bio and other platforms that you can find this interview on. So, I've linked it below. It's on my website. It's the Eddie Johnson tab, and I will link breakthroughplan.com, the breakthroughplan.com, and you can go on there and take the test like he said. I'm definitely going to do it, so check it out. And if you want to go on his website to purchase his book, it's called Passing the Test of Faith. If you want to go on his website and purchase his book, you can, or you can go on Amazon. Like he said, Amazon is on there, and purchase his book. I want to thank you all so much for listening to my podcast. Thank you all so much for supporting my podcast. And I hope you all have a great day and make great choices. Bye.